Hello, welcome to another Ready and Roll video. Today, for the first time in quite a while, we're opening a box. Yeah, first off, I do want to apologise for the general lack of content over the last couple weeks. Yeah, just a closest thing to an excuse I have, it's just shit mental health mostly. There was a couple weeks where Roan had a couple weeks off, so there were often days where I was joining in with activities that he was doing with some of his friends he'd invited over. And on days where that wasn't happening, I was often just, I didn't have the energy. I didn't want to get in behind or in front of a camera. And since then, yeah, the same thing has been basically the case. I just haven't wanted to do much of anything. Just about managed to, play some video games. But yeah, mental health has been rough lately. But yeah, the last few days have been better. So I thought I would do an unboxing while I want to be doing things. So yeah, I thought I'd unbox this new board game that came in the post over the weekend. Borderlands, Mr. Torgue's Arena of Badassery, published by Monster Fight Club in association, obviously, with Gearbox Software. Yeah, it's a cool box. It's a big box. Here's the characters that you will be able to play as. It's a 1, 2, 4 player game. Though there are additional characters that you can buy. For fuck's sake. I wish this camera would agree with me sometimes. There are additional characters you can buy. But I'd argue that doesn't change. That just means that, 1 to 4 players. As I try and lift this up. There we go. Gives you an idea of what you get. So it's 39. So yeah, a good amount of minis. Lots of tokens and components. Yeah. Yeah. So that's ages 14 up. 1 to 4 players. 60 to 90 minutes. I haven't played it yet myself, but maybe tomorrow I will try and run a solo session, see how it plays on its own, or on my own rather, and see how that goes, because I've learned not to take a board game's suggested playtime at face value, because that's just, as I readjust this thing so I can do the actual unboxing portion, I know not to take a board game suggested playtime at heart, because the Witcher game says something like 90 minutes. No. Last time I played that, we went for nearly 12 hours. Nemesis, we've played that for upwards of 10 hours. Monster Hunter, we can get in about 2 or 3 hours. So I don't know about this one. It looks relatively simple. So maybe 60 to 90 minutes is good, but yeah, I know it varies from game group to game group, but hey ho, I need to stand up to get this open. Come on. There we go. So, I have opened it already to have a little look through what you get. So, you get a loot bag with claptrap on it. I don't know, can't remember what you call this sort of printing. Not a fan of it. It just looks and feels a bit cheap. Get your rule book, a scenario book. So this is like a campaign type game. You can play it as a campaign. An advert for Cyberpunk Combat Zone, and some Monster Fight Club monster scenery, which is nice. You get your game boards. Yeah, it's a hex-based game instead of standard game boards, which I kind of like. It's something that I haven't played too much on. So this is going to be something different. Like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's a zombie side type game, but I think having these sorts of hexes changes up how you play it. So yeah, this is cool. And obviously on the other side, you get all your tokens and things like that. I'm not going to unwrap these just yet. I'll do that off camera. But if you want to see what everything looks like, I'll flip it over so you can see the other half. If you want to see what everything else looks like, then there are plenty of other unboxings and things on the wide internet for you to take a look at. And also, let's be honest, we want to get to this, don't we? So yeah. Plenty of minis. Interestingly, in the light, these are coming out more yellow on camera, whereas in person they're definitely more orange. Let's see what happens if I turn the camera off. Not camera, the light off. They're still more. They still look more yellow in the camera than they do in person, which is interesting. So yeah, you get a bunch of those. I'll have to excuse the shaky cam for a bit while I. Yeah, so you get some skags in the top corner, some badass raiders, some tinks, formerly known as midgets in the first and second game, and maybe in the pre-sequel as well, they were also known as that, but obviously that is one of many words that the society, I think, rightfully is moving away from. So yeah, those are all your enemy minis, and you get. If I move that away, this big sheet of minis too. That also include your player cards, well, all your cards basically, and some base rings. So I'll quickly take that off. So obviously base rings. These base rings are for the enemies more than anything, which is interesting. You don't get base rings for the characters, which I would have appreciated a handful of base rings of different other colours, just so you can differentiate who's who at a distance. So obviously, if you were a Borderlands mega fan, you're going to more likely be able to go, oh yeah, that's Mordecai, that's Mose, that's Salvatore, and that's someone else. My brains. But yeah, you also have your big lads that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head here. And also, because you've got Mose, you have the Iron Bear, which, oh my god, I can't wait to paint that. That's going to be so much fun to paint. and because you get what's his name? I said it literally a few seconds ago. Mordecai. You get a Bloodwing, who comes in as separate pieces. Relatively simple to get together. Why am I singing this? There we go. There's Bloodwing. Very cool. And yeah, loads and loads of cards. No player boards though, which I'm not so sure about. I think Zombicide proved how useful player boards are. I think any game making this sort of co-op, a looter shooter type experience on tabletop should use player boards. It's not the end of the world, obviously, but it's just a thing that most other games have done in some way, shape, or form. It's just, I think the Zombicide has done it the best with the actual plastic player boards that you can get in almost every version of Zombicide, bar I think the original didn't have them, they just had the cards as player boards. But Zombicide, Black Plague, and I think onwards had the plastic, almost tray player boards, which were fucking great. But yeah, you get a bunch of cards. I will say that they're still wrapped, but these look like they're going to be a little bit bent, which is a little bit of a shame. But that sometimes happens when you tightly cling wrap your cards. These aren't too bad. Everything else looks fairly nice. These don't look too bad. It's just this deck here that appears to be a little bit out of shape, but I won't hold that against them because I'm more than a little bit out of shape myself, and also something bendy. Yeah. You also get this lad that I can't remember the name of. Don't know how I'm going to paint this, because obviously I plan on eventually painting them, because there's a little guy inside the cage. How am I going to paint him? Don't know. But yeah, lots of really cool things to show off, I guess. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward as I try and get this back in one. Also, we get our, I forgot to mention this, we get our yummy silica gel. So yeah, that's going to be my dinner later. That obviously is a joke. Do not consume silica gel. Because it will fuck your shit up. So yeah, this is a game that I'm looking forward to playing. Yeah. We have, at least temporarily, a friend staying over for a bit. So that just means more people to play video games and board games with when they have free time. Been discussing LARP and things like that, because they are big into LARP. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to this. I also have other things from this game to unbox that I will be unboxing at a later date. By that I mean I'm probably going to upload this, delete the video because I don't have much space on my phone, record the other videos, and then upload those and schedule those for maybe a week time, so we've got more content on the way. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated. We do have a Patreon. If that is a thing that you want to support, you are by no means obligated to do so. It is exceedingly expensive to live right now, so obviously if you can't afford to do so, please don't, just for us. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.